On the news, National Assembly considers creating another body to be saddled with the mandate of conducting local government councils elections.
Let us be guided by the fundamental goal of ensuring that our electoral system is free from manipulation.
Senate reopens probe into Equipment Leasing Registration Authority leadership crisis with Northern Alliance Committee.
Public Service Rule 170201 was not followed in appointing the new registrar and CEO. We not want this out exclusively.
Plus, Speaker Abbas condemns terrorist attack on CAC in Eruku, Ekiti local government area of Kwara State. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Ene Ojonugba. The National Assembly is considering creating another body to be saddled with the mandate of conducting local government councils elections in the country. The Joint Committee on Electoral Matters at the round table says it is crossing the T's and dotting the I's in the Electoral Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2025, which seeks to transform the electoral process for efficiency. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
For over a year now, the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Electoral Matters, in an effort to bridge identified gaps in Nigeria's electoral system, embarked on a series of stakeholder engagements to restore trust and build confidence.
Reviewing and amending the Electoral Act to go in conformity with the Constitution.
This technical meeting, which continued behind closed doors, is to conduct a final check on the proposed areas of amendments before presentation of the bill in both chambers for passage and subsequent transmission to the President for assent. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amupiton, was also in attendance.
Electoral amendments that sometimes will come up so as to be able to look at the mistakes of the past and be able to put things in a proper perspective so that we'll have a better election.
It is an opportunity to demonstrate our commitment to the rule of law, to fairness, and to a level playing field for all political actors. Let us be guided by the fundamental goal of ensuring that our electoral system is free from manipulation, fraud, and undue influence.
There was also the issue of replacement of voters' card and whether a downloadable voters' card was possible.
Nigerians are expecting because they believe good governance starts with good elections, and good elections start with good electoral act, and that's why we all have to put hands on deck.
The Joint Committee hopes the proposed amendments, such as concluding all litigation before swearing in and other changes to the election timeline, would enhance the process. Lami Ali, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has resolved to interface with the leadership of the Senate to accelerate concurrence on the Nigerian Police Force Pension Board Establishment Bill already passed by the House. This followed a motion of urgent public importance on the floor, calling attention to persistent protests by police retirees at the entrance of the Parliament. National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikpen has details.
For 2 months running, police retirees have protested at the entrance to the National Assembly, drawing attention to delayed pension arrears and gratuities, as well as a desire to leave the contributory pension scheme for a standalone police pension board.
The House of Representatives has passed our bill since October 15 and forwarded same to Senate. Till date, Senate has not done anything over that bill.
From the look of things, the way and manner they are handling our issue of a contributory pension scheme, we don't actually want a situation where they will continue to take us for granted.
Their plight was presented on the floor of the House.
The House is concerned that the morale of serving police personnel have been adversely affected by the plight of retired colleagues, a situation that brings embarrassment to the nation and call for urgent parliamentary intervention.
We have done all the needful on that bill. We have amended it.
They are not there because of the House of Representatives. They are there because of the Senate, because the House of Reps has done the needful.
Since we have treated the issue here comprehensively, and it has been transmitted to the Senate. On the issue, we are done with it.
The House leadership promised to interface with the Senate to fast-track the Nigerian Police Force Pension Board Establishment Bill within 4 weeks. In another resolution, the House directed its committees on narcotics, human rights and public safety to investigate alleged unlawful operations by NDLEA officials in Abuja, Owan West local government area of Edo State.
Alleging the harassment, intimidation, destruction of property and sporadic shootings that led to the murder of a 16-year-old Emmanuel Monday George, a school leaver, right in the family's sitting room. Mr. Speaker, we are aware that the constitutional mandate of the NDLEA is to combat drug trafficking and abuse and to operate within the confines of the law and not to run riot on the peace-loving people of any given community.
Following the news of the death of Senator Oke Ezia from Enugu State, the House adjourned plenary till Tuesday next week in honor of the departed lawmaker. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petition has waded into the lingering leadership crisis bedeviling the Equipment Leasing Registration Authority, ELRA, by reopening investigations into an alleged unlawful removal of the agency's former acting chief executive officer, Saudi Njida. Joshua Ogunjede reports that the committee resolved by calling on the Minister of Finance to convene a stakeholders meeting and end the dispute internally, or else full-scale investigation would be launched.
The crisis, which has festered since May 2023, began following the dissolution of the governing boards of ministries, departments, and agencies shortly after President Bola Tinubu assumed office. The move, announced through a circular from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, plunged ELRA into a prolonged administrative vacuum. It was against this backdrop that the Northern Alliance Committee, NAC, petitioned the Senate, alleging that Njida, who had served as Executive Chairman and Acting CEO, was removed without adherence to the ELRA Act and relevant public service rules. NAC further criticized the alleged appointment of a new registrar, Donald Wakama, without compliance with public service rule, calling it a blatant breach of due process.
Public Service Rule 170201 was not followed in appointing the new registrar as the CEO. Did not point this out explicitly. Mr. Chairman, there has been a violation of the public service rules. Mr. Chairman, there is no integrity in violating the public service rule.
ELRA insisted that Njida ceased to be CEO the moment the board under which he served was dissolved by presidential order, rendering all subsequent actions of the former board invalid, a position reinforced by the legal opinion of the Attorney General of the Federation.
Because of investigations, the Auditor General of the Federation, after auditing accounts, found that former chairman paid a sum of 121 million to his Saudi leader, and this was refunded.
We are going to address this matter until no, let's give about 1 month. So we're going to address this matter for 1 month, within which to give the parties and the Minister of Finance to sit down and see how we can resolve this matter in-house.
From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogunjede, NT News.
In a related development, the Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly, Muhammad Usman Zuru, has constituted a committee to investigate allegations of transformer vandalism, delays in the reconstruction of the Mahuta Dam, and ongoing land disputes in the community. This is sequel to a petition submitted by the residents of Mahuta in Fakai local government area of the state. Jafar Yusuf Ilo tells us more.
The Kebbi State House of Assembly's Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs visited Mahuta, the headquarters of Fakai local government area, to investigate claims of transformer vandalism, land disputes, and delays in the reconstruction of a damaged dam in the town.
Some citizens have written petition against you, citing alleged transformer vandalism, delay in Mahuta Dam reconstruction, and the land belonged to the local government alleged sold to individuals.
The committee's primary objective was to verify the allegations, identify those responsible, and recommend measures to prevent such occurrences in the future. District heads, security officials, and other stakeholders actively participated in discussions, provide insight into the situation.
I have noted the update on the dam investigation. I'm waiting for the engineer from ZBCC to provide more information. The case has been transferred to headquarters. The investigations are ongoing. I have got the transformers in custody, and Nasur is among those being looked into. I received a letter from the Rural Electrification Board stating they are unaware of the transformers removal and are appreciating the arrest made.
The proof forms part of the House Assembly's broader effort to address local government challenges and ensure accountability in governance. In Kebbi, Jafari Subilo, NTA News.
Back to the Green Chamber. The House of Representatives Committee on Livestock Development is investigating non-payment of compensation to the victims of the highly pathogenic avian influenza bird flu epidemic in Lagos and other states from the year 2011. Joshua Ogunjede reports that this resonates at the public hearing for the establishment of livestock development agencies in parts of the country.
Avian influenza broke out in the year 2006 in Kaduna and ravaged to 2011. The deadly virus also raised Lagos between 2015 and 2019. Within 2023 and 2024, there was a resurgence in the same Lagos, while Taraba State currently experienced the outbreak.
We should look at our infrastructure and public services in terms of water, feed supply chains, roads, electricity, extension services, and access to whatever we resolve to put in place. Payment of compensation to victims of the highly pathogenic avian influenza bird flu epidemic in Lagos and other states of the Federation.
My family, they were affected, and the losses covered the cost implications.
We compensated 135,596,316 naira. The number of beds that were depopulated being 116,757.
We say that the governing board should include representatives from livestock development, environment, finance, planning, NIAS, universities, and the private sector.
The event also sought a bill for an act to establish National Grassland and Forage Fodder Production Research Institute, Guma, Gamawa, and similar feudal colleges in Zaria, Kauji, Kusada, and Mani.
Establishing this institute is going to reduce this a lot. In fact, everything eliminated. We can have ranches where we can produce our food, our feeds. Our farmers don't have to travel all the way to look for feed for their farms. You have accommodation for the people that will work there. The community will provide it. Some will provide the food for them. Some will provide so many things. Multiply. Even the economy of the local government will change.
The submissions will position the establishment of these colleges as a veritable ground to produce the required manpower and technical know-how in the fledgling sector of the nation's economy. From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
African leaders are being urged to prioritize policies and programs that align with the African Union's Agenda 2063. Details of these and many more from the state assemblies after this commercial break. Parliamentary news continues shortly. Do stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki, Abuja, or call these numbers 080 383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
If you are just tuning in, this is Parliamentary News, reaching you from NTA Parliament, Abuja. Kindly follow the platforms on the screen for more updates. African leaders are being urged to prioritize policies and programs that align with the African Union's Agenda 2063, which calls for accelerated efforts towards achieving full gender equality across all sectors and the complete elimination of violence and discrimination against women at the 2025 Africa Women Conference in Accra, Ghana. Gender advocates are reinforcing these demands, emphasizing the need for stronger protection for children, particularly the girl child, and a renewed commitment to safeguarding their rights. Details with Olusheye Adiegbo.
According to data from the International Trade Union Confederation, Africa, women make up more than half of Africa's population, only about 24% of the parliamentary seats, and a similar 24% of managerial positions. This persistent and troubling disparity continues to drive global debate. It is once again in focus at the 2025 Africa Women Conference in Accra, Ghana, where activists for women's and girls' rights from across the region are pushing conversations on inclusive governance.
Our gathering here is a testament that achieving gender equality remains a shared goal and a continental priority.
This year's theme, Legacy Meets Innovation, reminds us that the work of African women has always been the invincible engine pioneering our nations. And in this era of technology and creativity, we must boldly chart a new direction and amplify our impact.
As we convene in Accra, let us recognize that African women today stand at the intersection of legacy and innovation, shaping economies, leading enterprise, and transforming societies.
Participants are applauding ongoing efforts to amplify gender inclusivity across African countries, while also charting new pathways for greater impact.
The reason why we don't have good water, good schools and hospitals, because women are not in the right place to make the rightful decisions that will benefit the child, the vulnerable.
I've just been informed this morning that the Nigerian legislature is considering a bill before it to protect and reserve some seats for women. This is exactly what the EU Agenda 2063 enshrines.
The girls are not gone, but we are calling upon others not to be scared, not to retreat, and no surrender. Nigerian sovereignty must be secured, and the girl child must be encouraged to be in school, must be secured to be in school, and must be given her rightful place.
A key moment during the opening session was a shared commitment by delegates to intensify efforts towards women's empowerment and strengthening protection for the rights of the girl child. From Accra in Ghana, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The Oni of Ife, Oba Enitan Adeyeye Ogunwusi, and the Council of Yoruba Traditional Rulers have thrown their weight behind the proposed reserved seats for women, assuring Nigerian women of their resolve to spread the crusade to political actors in their domains. The assurance was given during the meeting of the Oni of Ife and the Southwest legislators on the special seats bill advocacy championed by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies News. Joshua Ogunjide takes it from here.
The gathering marks a strategic intervention that brought together traditional authority, legislative actors, and policy advocates to consolidate momentum for the passage of the special seats bill. It further provides a valuable platform to bridge policy advocacy with traditional leadership.
We will still deliberate, we traditional rulers. We want to talk to our subjects. Our subjects are all in the National Assembly, and we are starting with Southwest.
For news, The forum is particularly significant as it aligns with the Institute's mandate to support the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly in strengthening legislative processes through research, policy analysis, and evidence-based advocacy.
Your Imperial Majesty, the presence of you here in our midst, and as well as the presence of our other Royal Majesties from Southwest, offers the powerful demonstrations of our old traditional leadership can complement modern governance structures in driving transformative policy change.
The existing constitutional and electoral frameworks have not yielded equitable gender outcomes, with women currently occupying less than 5% of legislative seats nationally.
Out of 469, that is a 360 in the House of Representatives, you have only 16 women. Then you have, of course, the Senate, only 4 women out of 109. There are so many committees. In 14 houses of assembly in this country, including some of your states, there is not a single woman.
His royal voice, I know that the leaders, people in power, they are listening.
In Abuja, Joshua Ogujide, NTA News.
In another development, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has passed a resolution mandating relevant ministries and agencies to embark on a comprehensive public sensitization campaign through radio, television and town hall meetings to educate citizens on legal and developmental implications of encroaching on public property. The resolution followed a motion by member representing Eastern Obolo Ikota-Basi State Constituency, Selina Upatu, on the urgent need to stop the incessant erection of structures on government rights of way for the purpose of compensation. Nsikak Okong reports.
Presenting the motion, member representing Eastern Obolo Ikota-Basi State Constituency, Selina Upatu, is concerned about increasing trend where individuals and groups deliberately encroach on government-acquired lands and project pathways. Mrs. Sokpatu is drawing particular attention to areas along proposed routes for roads, drainage system, and other public infrastructure with intentions of demanding compensation when such projects commence.
3. Recommend that henceforth no compensation should be paid to any persons or group found to have erected structures on government-acquired lands after official acquisition or demolition notice have been issued, and that such offenders shall be made to bear the cost of demolition, removal, or restoration of the affected sites. In addition to fencing, appropriate legal sanction as provided by law.
The House, after extensive deliberations, resolved that henceforth no compensation should be paid to any individual or group found to have erected structures on government-acquired lands after official acquisition or demarcation notices have been issued. The Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemoton, directed the Clerk of the House, Nsika Obong Orok, to communicate the resolution of the House to the Ministry of Lands and Water Resources for immediate action. Also at the plenary, member representing Parenin State Constituency, Uwem Umoita, presented a motion on the need to implement the national policy on early childhood education in Akwa Ibom State.
This House notes that education is the bedrock of national development and that early childhood education lays the foundation for lifelong learning, social integration, and intellectual development of the child. Aware that the federal government of Nigeria, through the National Policy on Education as revised, provides for the establishment and implementation of early childhood care, development and education programs as the first level of education designed for children aged 0 to 5 years.
Nsikak Okon, NTA News.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has condemned terrorist attack on a branch of the Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, in Eruko, Ekiti local government area of Kwara State, where 3 worshippers were reportedly killed and others abducted by bandits. The Speaker says the attack is not only daring, but also unfortunate, charging the security forces to step up their game following recent attacks on soft targets in parts of the country, while stating that criminals and criminality have no place in Nigeria. Speaker Abbas pledges that the National Assembly will continue to prioritize the security and welfare of Nigerians, which is the primary responsibility of the government. The Speaker also commends President Bola Tinubu for suspending his planned trips to attend the 20th G20 Summit in South Africa and later Luanda for the 7th AU-EU Summit. Speaker Abbas also praised for the safe return of the abducted KB schoolgirls and choir worshippers. That report concludes parliamentary news for this evening. For more updates, you can follow NTA Parliament on the platforms showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. Once again, I am Ene Ojonugba. Bye for now.